Hi guys, Miguel here from Peak Physique Studios in Loughton. Today we're bringing you another rehabilitation workout. This time we're going to be focusing on the ankles. So again, a lot of people have had ankle injuries before. They're very easy to get. If you've played competitive sport, you won't be uncommon to when your ankle rolls over the top. Otherwise, it can even happen from something like stepping off the curb or landing the wrong way after walking out on the street, not seeing a little crack and rolling over your ankle. So we're going to do some stabilizing exercises and help rehabilitate, some strengthening exercises for some balance, as well as to build up the strength through that whole joint, through your calf. Enjoy. Right, the first one we're going to do is really simple. Standing on both feet, about a shoulder width wide, you're just going to go up and down onto your toes. Now this one's going to seem very easy, but we just want to get that balance and proprioception right. Then as we progress it, we're going to go onto one foot. Bring the other foot behind and just up and down onto one leg. Again, you'll do one side first, then the other. You want to be aiming for about 15 to 20 seconds each. Doesn't matter on the rep count because you're going quite slow in that rep count. You want it slow and controlled. You're not going too quickly. The aim is to help your balance a little bit more. So again, we're going to start with that one as one of your first basic ones. Enjoy. Alright guys, right, for your next one, we're going to be sitting down on a chair. You've got a few exercises we're going to do with this. Ideally, you should have a TheraBand. If you don't, you can just do your body weight first and build it up. Now what we want to do is put your ball of your foot underneath that TheraBand. Pull it so that it's tight, and you're going to go back and forward from dorsiflexion to plantarflexion. So pull your toes back towards you, then push your toes as far forward as you can. Now that's your dorsiflexion and plantarflexion. We're also going to do eversion and inversion. So that means turning your foot out and turning your foot in. And that's working again the stabilizers of that ankle. For this one again, you can either do a time of 15 to 20 seconds off each, or do a rep count for 10 to 12 reps at least before you rotate to the other side. We always want to even it out, make sure you are doing both sides. However, if you do have a specific injury on one side, you would focus a little bit more on that side. So it means you would do maybe one or two more sets on that side, opposed to just doing one side and forgetting completely about the other. Right, the next one we're going to do, team, we're going to be down on the floor. You're going to put one knee down on the floor. And with the front leg, we're going to lean forward. Now this is almost like a hip flexor stretch, but the idea is to keep that front heel planted and see how far you get before you feel it start pulling. So as you lean forward, you should be able to feel a stretch in your back hip flexor, but there should be a point where you start to feel it through the back of your calf. Now, what we want to do is increase that range of motion, so come back a little bit further and push it a little bit more while keeping your heel flat on the floor. Again, holding for 15 to 20 seconds each time. Find that point where it's slightly uncomfortable, but not causing pain. And each round, try and beat it or push it a little bit further to really help increase that flexibility. Calves will get very tight, and that's a common thing that happens with ankle injuries, is the calves try to compensate. Same like things like plantar fasciitis, your calves can be involved as well, as to where they're joining in the ankle. So all of that will affect how your ankle will perform. Okay guys, right, the next one we're going to do is a slight progression on the very first one we did. So again, you did your original standing calf raise, then you did single leg. Now what we want to do is elevate that a little bit more so that your heel actually dips a little bit further. So what I've done right now is I've just set up some books to do that. Otherwise, if you've got a step, that would be good as well. Standing up, you're going to drop your heel down and come up onto your toe. Now again, I would usually do this single leg. Use the other leg to support your foot. So you keep your balance as you go down, then you're pushing up onto your toes. Again, we want to increase that range of motion a little bit more and help with that strength. The next one as well, we want to do with our feet still a shoulder width wide. This time you're going to bend your knees forward. See how it creates a larger angle on your ankle, and then from that point, again, coming up and down, makes it a little bit harder onto that ankle joint and through your calves. Enjoy. Now, one of the key things that you need to remember about ankles is they provide a lot of stability. So one thing that we're going to work on right now is balance and stability. Easy enough to do is a simple stalk stand. On one leg, keep your balance. Now, if this becomes too easy, the way to make it a little bit harder is to close your eyes. Use the proprioception to help a little bit more. Now again, we're holding 15 to 20 seconds each time. If you've got one side that's a little bit more injured than the other, again, I would do maybe 1 or 2 more sets, but you would still be doing both sides. Again, keeping your eyes closed helps that proprioception a little bit more, makes it a little bit harder for your body to adjust, which means that your ankle and the stabilizers in your ankle have to work a little bit harder. Now, the other thing that you can do as well is if you go to a soft, spongy kind of surface, I've just got a mat here, same thing, that will help your proprioception a bit more. Same when you close your eyes, it takes longer for the feedback to come back, which means your body has to work a little bit harder. One side, then the other. Right guys, we're going to progress that a little bit more again. This time on one leg, you're going to do a nice simple single leg deadlift. Now again, working a little bit of hamstrings and the posterior side, but what we're focused on is the ankle and your stability through your ankle as you come down and up. Again, one side first, then the other. Now you'll notice that I'm not wearing shoes for this because again, we want to have more proprioception. While you're wearing your shoes, sometimes it can help your proprioception by pushing your feet in certain angles. This way your feet have to feel where they need to be, which will help your balance a little bit more. Okay guys, we've got another really good one for you now, and it's one that can help take your mind off of what you're actually doing with a skipping rope, skipping. Now without realizing it, you'll be putting quite a lot of load through your ankles, but it also helps to keep your cardio up as well. Now, if you don't have a skipping rope, again, you can do what I'm just doing here, making the action and pretending like you're skipping, and that's actually going to help strengthen up through your ankle joint and your calves. You can go into single leg as you progress, one side, then the other, and you can change it up by adding a little bit of different directions. Enjoy. Okay guys, we go here again. Now we're going to progress a little bit more, and you need something like this at home. It's a little penalty box, but if you don't have one of these, what you can do is just get a little bit of masking tape and draw out those kinds of lines so that you've got a bit of a guideline. Now what we're going to do with this, to start off with, is a lateral ladder. Nice and easy. You're going to put one foot in the box as you go side to side. Now again, as we're going through, it's loading through your ankles a little bit more, and you're putting a little bit more pressure laterally as you come out. Get a bit of cardio as well, but it's really good for that stability. Enjoy. Same thing with that penalty box, slightly different variations. Again, we're working quite a lot of cardio, a little bit of explosiveness, and to try and get the ankle stabilizers a little bit more. Now this one I call a T-squat. So you're going to go forward, go low, go wide, together and out. Now yes, you are going to be working quads and glutes as well, but the idea of the jumping in and out, you have to land on different angles, and you're allowing your ankles to get a little bit stronger from that as well. Now to progress that even more, you're going to do a single leg, something I call an L-hop squat. You're going to go forward, wide, in, out. Again, you'll do one side first before the other. Now this is a really good one to help stabilize your ankle, gets you going with a lot more balance, and helps your strength going laterally as well. Enjoy. Alright guys, another one we've got for you down on that penalty box is a single leg figure eight. Now again, this is going to be good for cardio, helping the strengthening of your ankle and your calves at the same time, and you'll feel quite a lot of muscles working in this one. So on one foot, go forward, diagonal back, forward, diagonal back. And you're going to keep flowing through in that figure eight. Again, you'll do one side, then the other. Really good for a bit of coordination as well. Helps you balance, helps you strengthen your ankles, and you will feel it through your calves. Enjoy. Okay guys, Miguel again. Our last one we're going to do on this is something I call the kangaroo hop. You're going to go forward one, back one. Forward two, back two, forward 3. Again, we're working a lot through your calves, helping that explosive power and working through your ankle joint. Enjoy.